Colton, you gotta go. You gotta go. The way you carried this episode, oh my God. I thought I wanted Michael out. I thought I wanted Ron out. Baby, no. You have to go.
Welcome to my channel. We're here. We break down reality TV shows with laughter and reenactments, all while giving it to you straight with no chaser. Because we don't just watch TV around here, we get into the things of the things. So sit back and relax. I hope you enjoyed the video.
Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video. Traitors season 4, episode 4, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I have never met a group of people just loud and wrong for no freaking reason at all. At all. Just loud and wrong. Like, I knew Eric should have been gone. I knew Eric should have been gone. But you know what? Y'all don't want to listen to me. No, don't listen to Chloe. I have never wanted the Traitors to win so bad in my life because the faithfuls are getting on my everlasting nerve. Y'all, we got some things to get into, but before we do, if this is your first time here, sit back, relax, watch the video on through, and if you like what you see and you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before and you have yet to subscribe, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and do that because you like it here and I want you here, so just go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you're one of my lovely members or subscribers, hey y'all, how y'all doing? I'm doing well, I'm doing okay. I just got finished recording Love During Lockup, so if you are interested in that review, go ahead and watch it. But right now we are getting into Traitors, so let's just go ahead and get into it. So we know that the Traitors have pulled off the first face-to-face murder, right? And now it is time for us to figure out who they murdered. Who got murdered? Because where we left off, we saw Ron yelling on the tree, "Take me! If you're gonna kill me, just kill me now." So we need to see if he is still here or not, okay? Now, it's breakfast time. Everybody's coming down for breakfast. Rob is feeling really good, okay? He's feeling like him playing dumb is really working for him. And I'm not going to hold you, it is. Because at this point, he is on nobody's radar. That's what happens when you are just that handsome. He put them overalls on to walk around so that people could be distracted by all the things he had going on. I'm just saying, okay? Now, Monet said, hey, y'all, let's remember that the murder happened in plain sight. So when they come down here, we need to get as much details as we can to see if there's any possible inconsistencies. But a part of me was thinking like, but what if they pulled off the different face-to-face murders in different ways? They would have inconsistencies, right? Right. But hey, that's what they're going with. Now, I don't know what's going on with the salmon, but the salmon must be good because every time somebody comes down for breakfast, they are looking for it, okay? Now, Dorinda is hoping that Lisa did not get murdered last night because she don't want to be responsible for anybody else's murder. And I'm like, girl, you better suck it up and get over it. Get over it because it could have been you. It could have been you. Better them than you, right? Right. Now, Candiace came in and she's feeling really good because they just pulled off the first murder face-to-face. And she feels like they didn't leave anything behind, no clues or nothing. Everything went smoothly. So she thinks. So Ron is the first person that came in that was up for murder, right? And they don't look too excited to see Ron. They don't really F with Ron like that for real, okay? But we need to grill him. We need to get down to the things of the things. So Ron, what happened? So Ron said that they had him tied to a tree and that the hitchman had on black masks. It was very, very scary, okay? He said, yes, I was blindfolded, but they didn't kill me, so I got to run away. They want all the details. The faithfuls are sitting there like, we need to hear every single thing down to the very T, okay? How many people do you think it was? He said, yeah, because they were walking around us. I feel like it was maybe 3 people. I say, and you would be correct. You would definitely be correct. Now, Ron thinks that Moira is a traitor. He said that when he was listening to the footsteps walking, he heard some of the lightest footsteps ever. And the lightest person there would be her. I said, well, that's dumb. That's dumb logic because all somebody has to do is walk light. But then again, you are talking about like Candiace, who's also just as small. There are like Lisa, who's also just as small. There's some small women there. And if that's the logic you are using, Ron, you won't last in this game at all. You really won't because this was the dumb. To assume that it was Moira because you heard light footsteps is crazy. Crazy. Now, Dorinda definitely feels like Ron is the traitor. She's listening to him, but in her mind, she's not buying any of it. She doesn't feel like he was scared at all. Now, Monet asks Michael, and when you walked around, Ron on a tree, who you was with? Who you was with? And I bust out laughing because they really tried to get Michael to slip up because they really be thinking that man is a traitor, and he's not. But Michael's like, I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling. I'm like, yeah, he's trying to mellow down a little bit because he knows that he has a target on his back for talking too much and doing too much. Now, Rob is worried about Lisa because he realized that everyone is going to be grilling her, asking her a bunch of questions, and he hopes that she's consistent in her story. Now, here's my thing. Lisa was there. Lisa was there for the murders. So she saw how everything went down. If she comes in here and act like she doesn't remember anything, it's nobody's fault but her own. Because how will you at 3 different murders and you come in here and don't remember nothing? Be effing for real. The only thing that you might be stumped on is what happened when y'all left. Other than that, the story should all be pretty much the same, right? Right. So when Lisa came in, everyone is excited, especially Dorinda, because she just knew in her mind that Lisa was gone and it was going to be because of her. How would she ever forgive me? So now they want Lisa to tell them what happened. And so Lisa's like, well, let me get something to drink first. I said, girl, you looking real suspect. You looking real suspect, okay? So then she was like, yeah, they tied my hands up. And I was like, they tied your hands up or they tied you to a tree? Which one? So they like, who tied your hands? And she's like, she starts stuttering. I said, girl, you about to get caught. You about to get caught. But then she was like, the hitchman did. So then Monet was like, the dudes with the gold mask? And she was like, no, they were black. They were black. And I said, oh, they definitely trying to catch her. They were looking for any inconsistencies possible. Any, okay? So then she started telling them how she was pleading for her life and telling them that she's a good faithful, she's an asset to them. And they was like, why would you tell them that? Why would you tell them that you're a good faithful? Lisa was like, I just thought I was getting killed. Point blank period. I just thought I was getting killed. And then she mentioned how the hitchman had an axe. Candiace said, listen, the way Lisa up there giving all these details and being so dramatic, she would look suspicious to me, but she is a housewife. She is a housewife, and housewives are dramatic. Have you not met me? I'm thinking to myself, Lisa is going to be the first traitor to get caught. I honestly do. Because I feel like Lisa doesn't handle stress well. And you can tell when she's stressed out or when she feels like she's being put on the spot. Like the stuttering, the dropping things. Like she's been very consistent and looking real clumsy. And that could be good or bad because like she's just been doing it since the beginning of the season. But I feel like people are starting to get on to her. And the next traitor will probably be Rob. But only because Rob is laying too low. Like you never really see him interjecting. You never really see him like, throwing people out there. It's like he's just going with what everybody else is doing. And that's the downfall of this group. Everybody finds one person and they all decide to follow that one person and they lead them down the wrong path every single time. Just like I said in the intro, loud and wrong. Loud and wrong. Now, everyone is picking up on the fact that Ron did not say that there was an axe. Now, Lisa said there was an axe, but Ron didn't say it was an axe. So what's that about? And we already know that a lot of people think that Ron is a traitor. Of course, they're going to be paying close attention to that, okay? Now, Eric shows up and he's saying how he thought there were 2 traitors. Child, this man and his music and his ears can't hear nothing. Okay, for him to be, oh, I listen to mixes and this, that, and the other. You can't hear nothing. 2 pairs of footsteps. Be effing for real, okay? Then he had the nerve to tell us that he's 99% sure that he heard a laugh. But he doesn't want to tell us who he think the laugh was from because he doesn't want to, put a target on his back by like pulling up somebody. But this person has been on his radar from the very, very beginning. And when I told y'all that y'all needed to get Eric ass up out of there, nobody listened to me. Nobody listened to me. He needs to get up out of there. He's dangerous. I told y'all that man is a silent killer. So now we realize that we're just waiting for Christine or Caroline. Which one is it gonna be? So Candiace like Kristen or Caroline? Oh my God, I love those girls. Candiace is a beautiful traitor. I love it. I feel like she was made for this role, if I can be honest with you, okay? And then Colton is like, I hope it's not Caroline, because if it is Caroline, I'm the reason she would be murdered. I don't think you really care. Because at the end of the day, you're out for yourself and nobody else. Point blank, period. So now we get the flashback to when the murder took place, and they murdered Caroline. Now, when Caroline took that blindfold off and she looked at them, her jaw dropped. She said, Rena, you bitch. And Caroline's like, out of everyone, why me? Candiace said, you talk too much. You talk way too much. Caroline said, but I thought we were really bonding. And Lisa said, too bad. Too bad, Caroline. Back to Dubai you go. Y'all, the way I was sitting here cracking up because there's no reason for y'all to be this dramatic. So Caroline's like, well, I'm sure I'll see you somewhere outside of here. Maybe BravoCon or something. And Lisa was like, no, you won't. I said, child, y'all gotta stop. Because you know you're gonna see that girl somewhere up out of here. Okay. You're not actually murdering her for real. Okay. But Caroline is so mad because she thought that the housewives was gonna stick together. Baby, have you not realized that y'all have not been sticking together ever since y'all sent Portia home? Let's be for real. You was one of the people at the table ready to send Portia home. Y'all haven't been sticking together at all. She said, only a housewife can look you straight in the eye and stab you in the back. Yeah, only a housewife, which makes them perfect for traitors. So, of course, we saw Kristen show up to the breakfast because she is alive, and everybody realized that Caroline is gone. And this is a good choice because this takes the scent off of the housewives, especially because two of them are traitors. So now Alan comes in and he lets them know that Caroline has been murdered face to face. But get over it because we have a mission. So once Alan leaves, Kristen gives her account on how everything happened with the whole murder and everything. And she also mentioned this ex that Ron did not. But Tiffany is set on the fact that Jam, Michael, and Ron are responsible for this murder. And she's at the point where she's trying to get people to fall in line with her to realize that these three may be our traitors. That's how confident she is about it. So Eric and Ron are talking, and Eric wants to know what was Ron's experience the other night involving the face-to-face murder. Now, Ron said that he heard some footsteps, and although there were one heavy one, there was one extremely light one. Just dumb. Just dumb. Like, if you're going off of footsteps, it does not make sense. The logic of trying to pin someone being a traitor on footsteps that you heard is crazy, especially because they were too light. Are you hearing yourself right now, Ron? I was giving you a lot of credit, but now I feel like I need to take it back because you're not as smart as I would think you are. Meanwhile, Tiffany is on a mission, okay? She's trying to make sure that everybody still got their sights set on Ron. Maura said that she's not really sure, okay? And Candiace is like, well, you know him and Donna were really, really close. And if Donna was a traitor, it would make sense for him to be a traitor. I felt like this was the plan from all along, right? Right. Candiace said that she wants Ron out because he's unpredictable. We already saw how he's able to get people behind him, and she doesn't want that to happen to her or any other traitors. So she wants to get him out. But the thing is, she doesn't want to waste a murder on him because then it would be too obvious. So the best bet at this point is to go ahead and let them banish him from the castle versus murdering him, because so many people suspect him right now. To get rid of him would really shake everything up because he would no longer be a suspect, which then will direct everyone's attention to God knows who. Maybe Candiace, maybe Rob, maybe Lisa. And that is what we don't want. At this point, Colton is just feeling himself because he led the charge against Donna and they got Donna out, and he's the ultimate traitor hunter now. And his sights is set on Tiffany. Random as freaking hell. This was the most random, like, traitor hunter session I have ever seen. What do you have against Tiffany, Colton? Why are you willing to pick Tiffany over Michael, over Jam, over Ron? Why? He feels like she's controlling everything. And he's like thrown off by that eulogy that she gave for Ian. He felt like it was fake. And he knows that she's trying to convince everyone else to follow her lead. I said, well, listen to this. Because isn't that what you're doing right now? Trying to lead the charge? Aren't you trying to take control of the game? Aren't you trying to get everyone to follow what you think? So if by that logic, you should be a target as well. Correct, Colton? Correct. And my thing is, why is no one questioning him? They see him talking about Tiffany while he's doing the same thing. Why is no one questioning him? So now we're on our way to the missions, right? And I'm listening to everyone talking these car rides, and I'm realizing that Colton may have just gotten most of them to want to banish Tiffany from the castle. Just about everyone except for Candiace. Because Candiace said that, she doesn't think that it's time for Tiffany to go yet. And Candiace knows who the real traitors are. And she doesn't want to kick out Tiffany. She's a single mother. She's a black woman. I got to do something to save her because we already got rid of Portia. That's what Candiace is thinking in her mind. I'm pretty sure she is, okay? So now we get to this mission, right? And they have like these beasts up there and they have to go into the woods, find the spear, come back, light the spear on fire, and like throw it into the heart of the beast to set it on fire. And while they throw the spear into the beast, they have to yell out the name of the person who they will want to be up for murder so that they burn their shield down, okay? Now they have to do this and they have a certain amount of time to get it done, and they have the possibility of winning $20,000, $2,000 for each person's shield that they burn, which means that 10 players are facing being up for murder tonight, okay? They split up into these groups, right? Now, Monet is going for Lisa because he definitely thinks that she's a traitor, but he doesn't know how that's going to work out because they end up on the same team somehow. Now, Michael's out there picking up dolls because the dolls is supposed to lead them to the area where the spears is. And we like, no, Michael, not the dolls, the spears. You having a doll does nothing for us. Pick up the spears, okay? So Colton, Kristen, and Mark get the first spear, and the first person they go for is Ron. Why? Because Colton feels like it's the safest bet because everyone is already after him. I don't like that man. I don't like that man at all. And I really wish somebody would have threw a spear into his ass, okay? Now, Lisa, Eric, Candiace, and Monet go for Tiffany. And Candiace was not happy about that because, like, we could have went for Michael. Michael was right there. Why would y'all want to go for Tiffany? Because they let Colton get all in their head. They let Colton get all in their head. And now, for some reason, Tiffany is a target. And the crazy thing about all of this, she doesn't even know it. She doesn't even have a suspicion that she is a target. So Tiffany said, now wait a goddamn minute. I know the fuck you did it. She's mad. She's mad because she realized that her shield is gone. So now she throws her spear into Monet. You did me, I do you. Rob group went for Michael. So then Michael was like, well, if y'all gonna do me, I'm going for somebody in your group. So he went after Tara. And then he just kept yelling her name over and over and over. And I was just like, if I didn't want Colton out so bad, I would definitely want it to be Michael. I still want it to be Michael, but I feel like it needed to be Colton first at this point. I really do. Meanwhile, while everyone's throwing their spears, Candiace tells Lisa that Monet mentioned her name. So now this puts a target on Monet's back because he's talking too much. You have to be careful what you say and who you say it to. Because when you say things like, oh, I think such and such, or I want to go after such and such, you don't know who the traitors are. So just by you throwing that out there, you don't put a target on your back. Baby, I was like, this cannot be good. This can't be good because Lisa was like, oh no, I can't have that. I can have that at all. My favorite part of this whole entire mission was seeing Rob pick Moira up and run down the hill with her. That was my favorite part. Everything else, who cares? Who cares? Y'all know when I was watching Love Island and I was watching Rob, I had a little soft spot for him. And so, yeah, I don't mind him on my screen. I'm not even going to hold you. I don't mind it. I really, really enjoy it. I really do, okay? So Tara picked Steven's shield to burn down. She said that it killed her inside. But it wasn't really that many names left, so she had to do what she had to do, and he has to be up for murder. Now, Colton decided to burn down Lisa's shield. Ron decided to burn down Moira's shield, and you know she wasn't happy about that. You know she wasn't happy about that, especially because they already think that Ron is a traitor. Oh, baby. Y'all done woke Mora up. Natalie burnt down Johnny's shield, and Colton gets the last spear. And everyone is watching him. And they were trying to figure out who are we going to throw this spear at? And they decided to throw it at Jam Jam. Baby, Jam Jam's heart dropped down to his stomach. But the good news is they got $20,000 into the pot. Now Jam Jam's over there crying, and I'm like, baby, this part of the game, you gotta suck it up. You gotta have tough skin. Okay? Y'all sat there and talk about how Ron would do the sympathy card and this, that, and the other. You can't be over here crying. You can't be over here crying, Jam Jam. Them tears went away real fast when Alan told them that the prize money was $90,000, though. I promise you that. So we find out that Ron, Tiffany, Monet, Michael, Tyra, Steven, Lisa, Mora, Johnny, and Jam Jam are all up for murder. And a part of me is like, why isn't like Colton up there? Like, you could just tell there are some people that no one is even thinking about. And those are the people that everyone should start to be like focusing on. But no, we're still focusing on the same exact people and Tiffany for some strange, odd reason. So now everyone gets back to the castle, and Mora is like, I want Ron out of here. He burnt my shield. He's coming for me. I want him out. And while she's doing all of this, Natalie decided that she was going to turn directly to Ron. And she asked him, Ron, are you a traitor? And I said, Natalie, are you dumb? Do you think that if that man was a traitor, he was going to say yes? I'm with Tiffany on this. Natalie, what was that supposed to do? Girl, you look stupid as hell if you thought the man was going to be like, yeah, I'm a traitor. Ron was like, listen, I'm a faithful, okay? I'm not always on. And I know that probably looks bad, like I'm not, really in the game or whatever, but I'm not always on. And by the time y'all believe that I'm a faithful, I'll be going anyway. So at this point, he feel like he ain't got nothing to lose. I'm not about to sit up here and kiss y'all ass and y'all want me out, point blank, period. And I'm not mad at him for that. But you still have to go because you did lead the charge for my girl, Portia. But in your defenses, which is why I'm going to let up just a little bit, you had actual evidence. You did have actual evidence. So now Colton is talking to a few of the players, and he's telling Jam Jam how Tiffany wants him out, how Tiffany thinks he's a traitor. And I said, damn, Jam Jam's going to switch up immediately, because now Colton is doing this thing where he's telling all the people who she thinks is a target that she thinks they're a target so that they can turn on her. Colton's telling them to lock in on Tiffany. Those were his exact words. Lock in on Tiffany. And I'm like, don't none of y'all think that it's suspicious that all of a sudden Colton is out to get Tiffany like this? None of y'all think it's suspicious that we are no longer talking about Ron or Michael when that has been a consensus for the whole time? Like, if I was in that house, I would definitely think that Colton is a traitor. Even though he's not, the reasoning he has for it being Tiffany is like, it's not really a reason for real. So while they're sitting in there talking, Candiace busting that door was like, don't be closing doors around here. I said, I know that's right, because what y'all talking about? Colton like, oh, I gotta go talk to other people. When he left, Candiace is trying to get them to stay on Ron. Stay on Ron. Because why are y'all switching up? Y'all don't remember what happened last time everyone switched up? Remember Portia? Like, y'all, we have a plan. Stick to the freaking plan. And I'm just sitting here like, I don't understand what kind of pull that Colton got, but baby is strong. The pull he has on these people is strong. And I don't even think it's that. I think that these are some easily influenced people, because there's no reason why this should have happened with Portia and now it's happening with Tiffany, because you let one person get in your head and change everything. And the only thing that he can say about all of this is that he feels like she's trying to control the game. Trying to control the game does not mean you are a traitor, Colton. You should know that because you are doing it. My God, I'm getting aggravated. I'm getting aggravated thinking about the round table. I'm getting aggravated just thinking about the round table. And here we are at the round table. Let's get down to business. So Colton starts off at the round table and he says, Tiffany, you are the traitor I am going after tonight. He tells her that he was there when she laid out the whole plan of how she wanted to get Michael, Jam Jam, and Ron out, okay? And he feels like she laid it out in a strategy and not off of suspicion. Not because I think these people are, but because I feel like this is an evil genius plan to get these people out. Ha 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 ha. He says usually he struggles to have one solid name, but here she is with three. And she said, and you're struggling again tonight. But go ahead, keep going. Now, Colton is saying that he thinks that she's the most dangerous player here and she's the puppet master. Oh, kind of like what you're doing right now, trying to puppeteer everyone else to lock in on Tiffany? Right. She says, no, I'm the smartest and I'm definitely smarter than you. Tiffany is pissed, y'all. She is pissed. She said that she did suggest Ron. She did suggest Jam Jam and Michael. But Michael and Ron has always been a topic around the table. That's nothing new. She said she wasn't really sure about Jam Jam. But Ron and Michael have always been up for discussion. And I was like, exactly. So I don't understand why everyone's sitting there listening to Colton, making it seem like we wasn't just trying to get Ron out when everybody found out that he was leading the charge against Portia. Let's not sit here and act like we didn't just want Michael out last round table. Let's not act like that. Like, I just don't understand why everybody's only choosing to see what they want to see. So now Jam Jam and Tiffany are going back and forth because he's like, so you think I'm a traitor? And she's like, yeah, but I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. So in the mix of them going back and forth, Jam Jam was like, well, I think you're a traitor. I think you're a traitor. And she was like, well, then write my name down then. If you think I'm a traitor, write my name down. And I said, my girl, ooh, she about to lose it. She's about to lose it. And it didn't help because they kept coming for her. Like over and over and over. Colton's talking about I'm taking a chance. Now Tiffany said you are taking a big chance. But you're taking the wrong chance. Because just because I can think 2 to 3 steps ahead of you does not make me a traitor, Colton. Just because I can think 2 or 3 steps ahead of you, Colton, does not make me a traitor. Baby, when Colton asked her, do she have 2 F's in her name? Oh, she better than me because the way I would have jumped over that mother effing table, she spelled out her name and she said, it's just like the company. He's like, oh, you know I'm not that smart, so I got to ask. Oh, because now you being funny. You being funny. And I don't understand how y'all sat there and let all this happen. Tiffany has done absolutely nothing to nobody. And I can understand if y'all had a real reason. Like, at least for Portia, Ron had some type of facts. Okay? But you, Colton, are going after her for no reason at all because you want people to follow you. You want to be in charge. You want to have the control. And that's the real reason why you're going after Tiffany, because you know she's smarter than you. So now Moira couldn't wait. Okay? As soon as she got her chance, she had to call out Ron. Because why did you throw a spear at me? Why you threw out my name? And I'm like, girl, it's a game. Names had to get thrown out. Names had to get thrown out, Moira, but she took it real personal, okay? Now, he said because he heard some really, really light steps when he was tied to the tree. So Moira was like, that's it? Well, I'll take that as a compliment. And I was like, exactly, Ron, you sound stupid. You sound stupid. And I told you that if you keep using this logic, you will be going home because it's stupid. So then Eric decided that this is his time to shine. And I'm sitting here like his ass should have been gone. His ass should have been gone. He said that when he was in the woods tied to a tree, he heard a laugh. He heard a laugh. And he's 99% sure that the laugh was Tiffany. Because he's a musician and he listens to music over and over. And he listens to 40 mixes. Maybe you need 100. Maybe you need 100, okay? He says his ears are not wrong. He's sure it was her. Are you sure about that? I am sitting here like, sir, you doing a lot to be wrong. The way you sit here talking about something, you listen to 40 mixes, you might need to do a better job at listening to mixes, and then maybe you won't need to listen to them 40. And just like Tiffany said, you might need another career while you're here. because you wrong. Tiffany does one last plea, y'all. She's trying to tell them that she's trying not to take this personal, but she is, because she's a faithful, and that they're doing a really good job for the traitors at this point. You're doing all the work for them because y'all literally just decided to come after me for no reason. And I really feel bad for Tiffany, because Tiffany got ambushed and blindsided. If she would have known she was a target, she could have better prepared, but they really came in there and they ambushed her. She had no idea that this was coming. I feel like Michael knows that the people are coming for him, right? And Ron knows that the people are coming for him. They are already like psyched themselves out to know that it's a possibility that they will have to defend themselves tonight. Tiffany had no idea any of this was going to happen. Any of this. Candiace decided to jump in, right? And she's like, we're doing exactly what y'all did to Portia. This is a mistake, okay? I feel like we're making another mistake and sending the wrong person home. We have been decided that we were going to go for Ron. He was connected to Donna. She was a traitor. Now we're moving off of him onto Tiffany. Tiffany starts crying. And when Candiace said, don't you cry, I felt that. Because you can just, I don't know, y'all. And I'm trying not to go there. I'm trying not to go there. But something about this didn't sit right with me, especially coming from Colton. Nope. And I commend Candiace for trying to save my sister, because she knew that this was fucked up. And I'm like, you know what, Tiffany? If you want to go out with your head up high, girl. Don't let them see you break down at that table. It's not worth it. It really is just a game. I know you need the money, but it really is just a game, okay? Now, Dorinda says that Ron hasn't made himself available. Ron said, listen, either y'all gonna send me home or y'all not, but I'm not about to be chasing after everyone. I came here to be honest, play an honest game, bring what I found out to the table, and that's what I did. I go where I'm loved and I go where I want it. I don't have time for that. And I can't blame him, because everybody is always trying to make him out to be a traitor, but then when they get at this table, they target everyone else. So y'all must not want me out bad enough. And I'm not about to be kissing y'all ass to try to prove to y'all that I'm a faithful. Already did that, already said that, okay? Now, as they started voting, watching how everyone just started switching up on Tiffany was crazy. Because you know that there are people who were just saying Tiffany's name just so that they can be unanimous in a group and no one would single them out. I felt so mad and disappointed in everyone at this table except for maybe Candiace and Michael, because Michael has a brain of his own. Michael did not let everyone at that table influence his decision. Candiace, because she knows, it would have been easy for Candiace to just go with the group like Rob and Lisa. But no, Candiace said, I'm not doing it. And I respect it. They did all of that. They let Colton sit up there and manipulate them. They let Eric talk about how he's 100% sure that he heard her. Rob talk about he has sharp tuned ears. Man, miss me with this ish. Which is why when Tiffany got up there and told them that she was a faithful and they did not deserve her, I just love seeing the look on everyone's face. All the egg on their face. And my only question is, are y'all now about to start going after Colton like y'all have been going after Ron this whole time? Are y'all going to be just as suspicious of Colton as y'all have been about Ron this whole time? Because at least Ron has some type of facts. Colton just went off of the fact that she was laying it out like it was a plan and not off of suspicion. Well, I thought that in order to get the traitors out, you need a freaking plan. I can't take it. This is the dumbest group of people ever. But it's time for murder. So Candiace, Rob, and Lisa are now in the chambers, and it's 8 people up for murder. Rob said that Ron, Michael, and Jam Jam we're not even gonna think about murdering them because people are suspicious of them. And if we take them out, then of course everyone will start to look at everyone else. And we don't need that. Let's keep eyes on them. But I don't even think that matters anymore because the way they switched up on Tiffany is crazy. You could be all good today and be gone tomorrow, literally just like this. Just like this. So that leaves them with Johnny, Monette, Tara, Maura, and Steven. We know that Rob isn't gonna let them get rid of Maura, right? We know that because they said that Maura would be too easy because we know that she wants Ron out. So if we take her out, then there would be no suspicion. Rob wasn't going to let that happen anyway, okay? They was thinking about Steven, but they feel like he's good for missions. But Candiace brought up the fact that Monet mentioned Lisa's name. And Lisa said, did anyone else hear him? And Candiace said, I don't think so. And I said, they're about to get rid of him. They're about to get rid of him. Where are all the people of color going? Child, if Candiace wasn't a traitor, she would be up to. She would be up to. Everybody of color is about to be off the show. Whew, child, this is a mess. This is a mess. Anyway, y'all, I really hope y'all enjoyed this review. Get down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about everything. I'll be back with episode 5 tomorrow. Don't forget to like the video, hype the video up, and subscribe to the channel. And with all that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.